Hey,
Hello,
Vlad.
everybody. We're here. We've had a little bit of Cannes moment today, haven't we? So we've had to make it a bit later because, Elliot, you were at a think tank with the World Bank.
Well, the World Bank funds something called Climate for Change, and it's how movies can be used to promote the horrors that we're doing to this planet. And we had a bunch of guest speakers, including the extremely well-known Lawrence Bender. Now, that may not be a household word, but he's the guy that produced Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs and many other films as a producer. And he's behind this too, because he understands the production style. And then we broke up into tables of 10. So I was sitting at a table with someone from Lebanon, Britain, France, Philippines, South Africa. And we were talking about ideas that we could use the clout of Hollywood stars like DiCaprio and Lawrence Bender, the United Nations, and how we could promote, climate change. And so our table came up with the brilliant idea of the 3 R's. Number one, rate. In other words, if we had a little sticker that went on films that had climate change within the content, a bit like the Bechdel test, which they did to promote diversity for women's films, but to do that for content for green films. The second R was responsibility, in other words, responsible filmmaking. And the third R was reward, in other words, have a program of local heroes. So that was our contribution, and looks like the United Nations might actually take the rating idea and take that forward. And maybe they are going to, something I was going to talk to Julian about, and David, commission Raindance to come up with what goes in with these content rules, a bit like the equivalent of Bechdel test for women, climate change. So every single movie in future, we would hope, no matter how big budget, how much action movie, how much Vin Diesel, would have an element of, hey, this is wrong because climate change and so on, to bring up awareness.
That's fantastic. And also particularly because it's all about how story can actually educate people rather than just kind of telling them facts, but how dramatizing and including it into the drama can really bring a point home. And that's the perfect time to introduce Cécile, our Grand Prix winner for her amazing film, again on a huge issue. Hi, Cécile.
Hi.
Good to have you here.
What happened?
Good to have you here. And how are you enjoying Cannes?
It's great. It's been I've learned a lot. Elliot took me around. He's showing me all the good tricks to network in Cannes, and it's been great. It's been amazing so far. I'm really grateful.
I think the one thing Cécile has learned about Cannes is the value of sleep.
Okay, getting on to the value of sleep. Tell us about the villa party where you got your camera, Cécile. How was the party?
The party was amazing. It was really great. It was in this villa that has a big garden, and so we did it outside.
In the rain.
In the rain, but the spirits were high, so it was fine. And and they gave me this amazing camera that I still cannot believe is mine. and it's been very, very exciting.
Have you tried to use it yet?
I tried it. I had to get like memory cards and setting up and everything. Mm-hmm. So I started, and I brought it down with me today. I'm going to shoot some stuff. Yeah, it's right here.
Let's have a look. I didn't know you brought it.
Yeah, I brought it.
It's really quite heavy, isn't it? We're attached by an umbilical cord.
The lens is not on, but So that's the camera.
Look at that.
And
fantastic. For anyone who doesn't know, it was one of the prizes for Cécile. It's the Nikon D810 film kit, and of course this amazing trip to Cannes. So I want to know from you what you've been showing Cécile.
Say that again.
I wanted to ask you what you've been showing Cécile.
Well, we just behind us is the big Riviera with about 800 people selling stuff. And I think, and David and Julian took Cécile around too, just to see that it's like going to a vegetable market, except instead of selling carrots and potatoes, they're selling documentaries, films, animations, and so on, and how that process works. And I'm hoping that by seeing that at this stage in her, what I think is going to be an illustrious career, Cécile will sort of know firsthand of what the end point is, and to use that energy of the market trading in her script development and so on. Not that she needs any help, because as you know, Alison, Cécile's short film under 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes, took the issue of
Domestic violence, yeah.
domestic violence, mistreatment of women, and did it in such a fresh and original way that when myself, Dirk from Nikon, and Asif Kapadia, the Oscar-winning director, saw it, we all went, "That's the one."
That's the one. Absolutely. Yeah, we all did.
I feel very blessed and thankful for that, knowing that Elliot and Asif Kapadia that are such amazing people from the cinema and the film industry noticing my film. It's amazing.
Mm.
It was a wonderful film, Cécile, and a very worthy win. What we want to know now is, what are you thinking of doing next?
So I actually have another short film I'm shooting next month called "It's Not a Love Story." It's not on the same subject, but yeah. So I have this short film, and then now that I have this amazing camera, I'm also I'm also gonna go shoot a short documentary this summer in this world event in Brest, in Brittany, where all the boats, it's called Brest 2016, and it's an event that happens every 4 years, where all the boats from all over the world come to that bay. Like, you have old sailboats, you have military boats, you have race sailboats, and they come for some shows and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go film some stuff
great.
over there with my new camera.
So wonderful. So you're also doing documentary. You're going into documentary as well now.
That's gonna be the first time to me, to be honest. But I happen to know. So the person who organized that event is my uncle. So I'm gonna be able to access specific, some nice and behind the scene places and some people I would never be able to meet otherwise. So I just wanted to film like this and film my meeting with these people that are amazing sailors and that have all kind of stories. And so I've never done it. It's going to be new to me, but now that I have a camera, I can't have to do it. I have no excuses anymore.
and Cécile, go to the documentary film corner.
Yeah.
And see how they market and finance documentaries.
Yeah, absolutely. See, another advice. I like this all the time. I was like, oh yeah,
constantly.
And she's the funnest, bestest student we've ever had. And just listen to that laugh. I'll do anything to hear that laugh. Just wonderful. But Cécile, let me ask you, this camera. Did it take you? Have you used Nikon before?
No, it's the first time.
And how did you find the menu and everything?
Yeah. It's very intuitive, and it's really intuitive. So I don't know. I'm still gonna have to explore it, obviously. But no, it's great, and the quality. I was surprised. Like, the first time I actually turned it on, I was in the bedroom, and it was like nighttime. And I just looked through the screen, and I took a picture of just like the night table with the little lamp, and just the lamp was doing the shade on the wall, and I look at the picture and I was like, oh my god, this camera is amazing.
Well, it's a serious piece of kit. Asif Kapadia is using this one to do his small documentaries, interviews. For his big documentaries, he gets a big crew with lots and lots of cameras and so on, but he uses this to walk around with, doesn't he, Alison, to do stuff. So
this is amazing.
Yeah, no, it's
I want to meet Asif now. Well, we'll shoot some stuff together.
Well, next time you're in London, yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll take you up on that.
Sounds good. So, just tell us a bit more about what you're hearing at Cannes. Is there, what are the films that have the buzz? What have you seen?
Oh my God, I have only seen. I got here Thursday. It's what is it today? Monday, and I was here for 2 hours, and I was sitting in a cinema watching a documentary on Rocco Segretti, who the male porn star, who showed up with his wife. Oh my God, I saw too much again. And there's a part of his body that reminds me of a baby's thigh. It is so big, it's unbelievable. It's frightening.
Your wife or
Other than that,
Filmmaker.
I haven't seen any films. The programming team have been looking at film after film. I've been doing meetings like the one just now at the World Bank. Julie and I are about to go off to look at the virtual reality thing. Then meeting the Mexicans and the Russians and the so for me it's meeting. But the programming team, have you seen anything good, Julian? Like
the salesman.
the salesman?
Okay. Whose film is that?
Whose film was that, Julian?
It's
The mic is here.
it's here. Oh, hi, Alison.
Hello.
It's an Iranian filming competition, and it's basically by Asghar Farhadi, who won an Oscar previously with A Separation. So it's really good, really good.
Has anyone heard anything? I was reading about The Handmaiden, where they've taken an English story and set it in Korea, and that seems to have a bit of buzz.
Well, that's
about
the
it.
guy who did Old Boy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And everyone's raving about that film. And also, David, Julie, and I met Ken Loach on the street 2 nights ago. He knows, and he's a big fan of Raindance, and of course, Raindance is a big fan of Ken Loach. And his film has been very, very well received.
It's amazing. I saw it.
You
It's
saw it?
unbelievable. The Ken Loach film. Ken Loach is just so talented. It's
Oh, fantastic. You know, a British film, that's wonderful to hear about that.
Yeah.
But the films in general in the market and the festivals here are
It's your
good year.
way.
Some years
You're the
the
winner.
films aren't so good. So the films have been.
Sorry, Elliot, could you just say that again? I just missed that point. Well,
The feedback on the films in the festival and in the marché, the market, this year is very, very good. Some years we come, the films aren't as good, to be fair, but this year the films in competition, the films in the market are extremely good. However, I did see a poster, I should have bought it. Oh, I Married a Dumb Ass is a film that's being sold in the market. I'm not sure that that's going to meet anyone's artistic merit.
somehow I fear not.
Anyway.
So this year, I was going to ask you, because you've been to how many Cannes film festivals now?
94 was the first one. That I come every year since
So it's
94.
10, it's 12. 12 years. Right?
So,
22.
no, 20 on year.
22,
years, my
22.
22nd, yeah.
Wow, it's true.
So every year, Elliot, is it different? Do you ever feel like it's the same old, or is every year just completely different?
Every year for me is completely different, and much of it is the same old, same old. You've got panels, you've got seminars, you've got events, you've got screenings, and you have those kinds of parties that people like Cécile read about the next day in the newspaper and wonder how you get tickets to. But she had a ticket to one of the coolest parties at Cannes this year. What is different, of course, is every year you meet new people. Like, it's thrilling to meet Cécile, as sincere, and this is not a cheap platitude. I've been teasing her all week. I really hope, Cécile, that no matter what, you keep in touch with us, Julian and David and the Raindance team, of course.
Absolutely, yes.
And to meet new people like Cécile, who deservedly, as you said, Alison, won accolade and an extremely valuable piece of kit from Nikon. They're coming in all the time, you see. And Cécile will have her new ideas of how to use the camera, the editing, and so on. She will have her new ideas of story and how she responds to the issues that we see, like climate change and domestic abuse, whatever her thing. And that's what makes it different from year to year. So in 95, we had Dogma 95. Then we moved into some of the Japanese films with Takashi Miike and Hideo Nakata in the 97, 98. 3 years ago, we had all the Mexican films. We had films like Gravity and, what was the one that won the Oscar last year? This year, Revenant, last year.
No.
The documentary?
No, the Oscar Best Film. What was that? Ariachi's film. Oh.
The foreign?
We had
oh yes,
Gravity, Alfonso Cuarón, and then Iriato made a film called
Birdman.
Birdman, yes, thank you. And then this year, of course, Revenant. These are essentially Mexican films. So this is a Mexican stage right now. But we're also finding at the festival that as the Mexicans move on, we're getting a lot of absolutely brilliant work from Eastern Europe And then, of course, China. Wow, just my God, that is like the creative, can I use the word demon of the Chinese creative forces is about to unleash and hit the West, and we are going to be swamped with Chinese culture. And again, as with Cécile's win, deservedly so.
Fantastic. So that will be we're going to see a real change then in
Well,
the film.
fresh air. You know, the West, we've become very lazy, and I've stopped taking chances in so-called Western cinema, with the exception of a very few people. In Britain, we have Steve McQueen, of course, Ken Loach, of course, a few people like that. But in general, the Western Hollywood, so-called Hollywood films, are same old breakfast cereal, bit of sugar, and honey, and whatever. But the new wave of filmmakers coming in, the young as Cécile, the new emerging filmmakers as Cécile, and then the Chinese, Eastern European filmmakers are bringing filmmaking techniques and stories to a whole new height, which I think we'll all find really refreshing once we get a chance to see them. If not at Cannes, then maybe hopefully at Raindance.
Yeah, and at Raindance, of course. Yeah, so you've got, just back on the Mexicans, you've got, is it Guillermo Arriaga doing a workshop with you on
Yes,
screenwriting?
he's coming the first weekend in June.
Mhm.
Guillermo Arriaga, the writer of Babel and 21 Grams, and a director in his own right now. And I know Guillermo I met him a few times when he's been in London. He is a true artist. I mean, it's like when you see a little village, the ceramic, or if you try to make a ceramic pot on a spinning wheel with the clay, and you go, he just comes in, and the most beautiful bowls, if you like, come off his potter's wheel, to use an analogy. It's just like magic when he speaks. It's so inspiring. I think that's the main thing. And watching Cécile's film, knowing that she had no money to make it, she had no time to make it, and yet she managed to come up with a story that was simply inspiring. And that just makes you feel better.
Cécile, tell us a little bit about how you managed to shoot things when you didn't have the money, the budget to do this.
Yeah, I was very lucky to have people around me that were willing to give the time and talent to help me bring that story, like turn this story into a film. And I'll take this opportunity to give a big thank you for my tiny crew I had. We shot that in one day. At a friend's apartment. The actor Sal Casciato is absolutely amazing. I have worked with him before, and he's absolutely great, and he nailed it, like, you know, in one day. We didn't have to do like all these takes, so that helps too. And we did that in one day with whatever, you know, means we had, and yeah, that's how it happened. Okay.
It's amazing how this is one of the tips that Elliot consistently gives, is to save time and money, is to have a single location.
Mm-hmm.
And you've done exactly that. And just capture a moment in time.
By the way, Alison, at the party the other night, when Cécile got this piece of kit here, we coined a new word to replace the phrase "no budget" or "low budget," which we think is kind of insulting to Cécile. Yeah, well, there's a no budget short. We call it a film made with resource-based creativity. So resource-based creativity.
A little bit hard to get, you know, to squeeze into a sentence, but you're onto something there.
But it also implies an element of food, which no budget does not.
Absolutely, yeah. So at Cannes, for a filmmaker like Cécile, first time around, what do you recommend that they go and see? Because you were talking before about all the various things that call your attention. You've got the film screenings, you've got panels. You've got the marché. Where should a new filmmaker direct themselves when they get to Cannes?
Well, I'm going to ask Cécile that. Where would you like to go? What do you think? It's overwhelming, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
you can't do everything.
You cannot do everything because there's 10,000 things happening at the same time. So it's all about knowing what's happening and seeing what would most serve you and what is most important for you to attend. whether it's like, for example, I'm really interested in like new ways of storytelling through virtual reality, augmented reality. So I did spend some time on the next pavilion where they show some of the work, when there's conferences, when the people are actually right there doing Q&A, so you can go and talk to, like I went up to some people and talked to them and, you know, ask questions. And people are like very friendly here because everyone knows, that's the feeling I get. Everyone knows they're here to networking.
Comrades.
And yeah, exactly.
Comrades,
yeah. So, so things like that. And then, so he showed me the market. He also showed me the International Village, it's called. And I really like this place because it's like little tents by the beach. And every country is represented there. So
103 countries, to be precise.
So there's like at least like 200 tents. And you can just go and, you know, meet filmmakers from these countries, or, you know, there's happy hours too. I've been to some of them.
I saw that on the Raindance Twitter feed, actually. I saw a bit of, oh, we're with the Russians. Oh, we're with the...
So
I crashed the Armenian thing, and it was at a private restaurant up in town here. And I'm walking along, and I saw a bench with champagne. So I walked up, and the barman had me a glass of beautiful champagne. And then the organizer came up and said, "Do I know you?" No. It was okay.
Well, you know, you've got some pretty good credibility, though. If you do say, you know, yeah, I'm from Raindance, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. I would get in trouble.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know.
I'll see how she makes me laugh, huh?
So what else are you seeing in the marché? What kind of films are selling or reaching great success that you've seen?
Today's Monday.
Okay.
And so it opened on Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today, those are the 5 days that the buyers are literally queued up at all the different sales agents' booths. There's like little booths with posters up and so on. And they are so busy selling. There's no clear trend that's emerged yet. The sales agents I know, they're here at 8 o'clock in the morning, leaving at midnight, working like crazy. And the films start screening at 9 in the morning, go through till midnight too, in the market, as well as the festival. You see 100 films in the festival, 3,000 in the market. There's 150 every 2-3 hours. It's the scale is, I think Cécile will tell you, the scale is beyond anything that you can imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's overwhelming, but it's, you know, it's fun.
But basically, the films.
Well,
the films.
We'll see what you guys look like at the end of the week.
Yeah. I'm glad we're having this live chat now.
Yeah, after another few parties, it might be a bit more challenging. But Elliot, last time we spoke about this, you said that a lot goes on that's not actually in the formal part of Cannes, that there's lots of things being made outside of that.
Yeah, well, I can't show you because we're sitting in one of these tents Cécile was talking about, but out in the bay in front of me, there's probably 100 yachts. When I say yachts, I mean big things. And in the harbor, probably another 150 yachts. And when I say yachts, I mean big things.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are film companies or financiers or distributors doing meeting that you don't hear about. And then, of course, up in the hills behind us where we sit, next to where the villa party is, there's many, many villas privately owned that are rented out for a couple of weeks to the heavyweights that come to Cannes. And then if you went around the coast towards Nice from Cannes through Antibes to the Hotel du Cap and so on, or yesterday I was up in St. Paul de Vence at Column d'Or having a meal.
I remember it well.
Yeah, and that's where the Harvey Weinsteins and the Spielbergs go. Spielberg came. He came to the festival with his film, and I was walking through the marché, and I happened to meet someone. I was going to call you, but I didn't have your number. This is irritating. This 2 nights ago with FGB thing, and I don't know if you can see that the way I'm going to do this here, but how did I do this? Photos. So Spielberg comes. I'm in a balcony just above the Tapis Rouge. And Spielberg comes. Maybe you can see this, but you'll see the. Do you see that the the cars, the limos pulling up.
Yes.
And there's thousands and thousands of people. Now, Spielberg was actually staying in the hotel across the road. And yet he gets in one of 30 limos coming, dropping all the talent and everything up. Whoops, that's the wrong one. You know, and you'll see him, if I'm holding this right, jumping out of his limousine and being asked to see Steven Spielberg. And sorry, it's not working. Anyway, you get the idea. I hope, Alison, that's really kind of...
Yeah, it's just madness.
Yeah.
And at any festival is just absolute madness.
And they close the whole center of town down, don't they? And then the motorcade comes from the hotel and goes around, has to go around the city to get across the road because of the one-way system, and drops the people off. And they got the red carpet, big TV screen, which you see when you're sitting inside the cinema, see all the celebrities arrive. It takes almost 45 minutes to get all the celebrities into it. So you get there early.
Yeah.
If you don't, you won't get in. And now the celebrities start coming. Oh my God, help you! You've got to pee, because that's, I'm sorry, that's it, you know.
They're everywhere too. Just walking here for this meeting, I was walking by the International Village, and I happened to go, you know, between the Palace and here, and I could hear, like, I turned around, I could hear people, this way, here, and I turned around, there was like, I don't know, 50 maybe like paparazzis and photographs calling out to someone who obviously was there, and there was like security, and I couldn't see. I'm really short, so I couldn't really see who that was. But it's like, you know, and I didn't want to be late, so I didn't really try to go see who that was. But so yeah, it's everywhere.
They might still be there.
Maybe we'll go afterwards. I'll go with Elliot. Elliot knows everyone, so maybe we can get somewhere.
But what's amazing too about Alison, about Cécile and her film. Did you know, Cécile, that you were the best of not just a couple hundred, but over 550 films? Did you know that?
No, I didn't. 550?
549, wasn't it? Cool. Alison, a huge number.
Yes, it was. Yeah, no, it was over 550 this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, yours was the one. So
Thank you guys. I feel very grateful.
Well, we have another compliment for you, because I've just had a question in, and someone's saying, I'm assuming this is to you, Elliot. How do I get a beautiful assistant like you have?
So you start a film festival, you wait 25 years and hope someone shows up. I mean, that's that simple.
Well, I think the answer for Topher, who put the question in, is the answer is that you judge a film festival.
Yeah, that's right. You have a film festival. You go to filmmaking networking events in whatever city or town or nation you live in. And don't forget, Alison, as you know all too well, it's not about what you know in the film industry, it's whom. And we're very lucky to meet Cécile. And this will be a good relationship. We'll
absolutely.
hang out.
I was telling Julian I might go to London in June.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
brilliant. Then you must, you know, and see what Elliot's got going on at the time as well. Actually, June. That's when the Ariaga.
Yeah,
okay.
4th and 5th of June, and then we start our foundation certificates. So yeah,
we'll have a private
word.
We'll talk in private.
You can make a great double act.
She teases me, Alison. She makes mockery of my white hair.
What?
And my lint.
I kick him under the table. You cannot see.
Tell me, what are you guys doing after this? Because we're going to have to close shortly. But just where are you off to? What plans have you got for the rest of the week?
I think we're going to go to the next pavilion, where they have like new immersive storytelling and VR. And then after that, we'll see. I'm sure he has a busy schedule, so I'm sure he has meetings.
Have to go up into the old town to have a
I love
dinner with the founder of Internet Movie Database, Cole Needham, and a few select guests, including Ken Loach and Nicholas Winding Refn.
So I guess I'll try to go with him.
We'll get busted at the gate, Joel. I've been told this is one only. If I had an extra plus one, I'd definitely take you.
Don't worry.
So I'm very lucky to do that.
That's awesome.
To do that.
That sounds amazing. So, Cécile, I really hope that what you're learning here is going to just turbocharge your career and, you know, give you new inspiration.
Absolutely.
For your new work. Elliot, thank you very much. Thank you to both of you for joining us.
Thank you.
And you know, Cecile, you
fabulous-
can, yeah, you can always give either of us a call. Alison's a master of marketing and publicity, as you probably gathered. And
Yeah.
I know
Great.
I know how to get those cool party tickets that you read about
Oh,
the
yeah.
next morning.
Yeah.
I think the party tickets are a bit more valuable, actually, for that. So on that note, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you for talking to us. And Cecile, we want to see your new work when you make it.
Absolutely. Yes. I'll be sure to let you know and show it to you and, share it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Alison.
Bye. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.